So right now I feel like the queen of procrastination because I worked so hard to get those potatoes in the garden, and it just didn't seem like there was ever the right opportunity to get them out. And now I hear we're getting possibly a -7. So I'm hoping they haven't already frozen in the ground because we've had some cooler temperatures, but I'm going to try to dig them up. Usually you would want there to be, quite a few days of sunny weather to dry out the soil, especially since this is a wet end of the garden. But we can't always have perfect conditions, so I'm going to see what they're like. So as you can see, the plants died a long time ago. When you basically, if you want to store your potatoes, you have to wait for the plants to die, and then you have to leave them in the ground for a couple more weeks. And we had such a long, gorgeous season with no frost and everything that it took them quite a while to die back. And thus, I don't know, the predicament I'm in, I guess. But anyways, it's my own fault. So I'm going to put them in these burlap bags. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. So I bought that from Dollarama. $2.50, I think. Already sown. It's supposed to be for shrubs. It'll work great for potatoes. So as you can see already, some of the ones that were on the surface have frozen, obviously. My priority is going to be my special potatoes, so my blue ones and the white ones that I planted. And then I'm going to do the red ones later, I think, if I have time. And these are red ones, obviously. So, but some nice looking potatoes. Look at that. But they are, see, that's why I was hoping for some drier days, because I'm going to have to lay them out, and I really don't have any room right now with having puppies and everything in the house. But anyways, and actually, this is green, which is not edible, but not frozen, so that makes me feel good about the rest of these potatoes. They might just be all right, even though they were near the surface. So I try to fork a bit just to loosen up around, because you can easily fork your potatoes. And then I just feel around until I think I have most of them. And there's another big one. Wow. They definitely like this spot. Look at that. And those were those overgrown, sprouted red potatoes that I hadn't eaten up, so that's good. All right. So I'm thinking I'm gonna just lay them here and let them dry for a little bit while I get the rest of them out. I apologize about the camera work. I am on my own, and I cannot find the attachment for the tripod, so it is what it is. I figured something was better than nothing. Hey, Eva. Stay out of trouble, okay? You be good. Thank you. Mama was tired of being with the puppies, so I figured she could have some time outside with me. All right. I can feel them. There they are. Ooh. I may not get them all, but it's better to go back later than to lose them all. A few small ones in here. So this is definitely a good spot for potatoes. I thought it was going to be too wet, but obviously this kind of year, which wasn't, it wasn't a dry year, it wasn't a wet year, it was kind of Depended on the timing, I guess. But in a wet year, I'm sure this would probably be too wet down here. It was great for this last year. I'm thankful. All right. Now, since I said I wasn't going to concentrate on the red potatoes, I am going to keep searching for the blue and white ones and see how they did. I hope it didn't fork at me. These are the blue ones. There we go. So they're not as large, but then, oh, it did fork them. Look at that. So far not as large, but they weren't in as good a spot, and we didn't get them killed up properly and everything. Seems like there's always too much to do. Let's see, I feel some. It's like digging for treasure. Oh well, if nothing else, they can be seed potatoes, except for this one, of course. Look at this ginormous one. Too bad he was on the surface, I tell you. I suppose you could cut the green off. Just keep coming back to these red ones because they're just huge. Look at that. Oh, I feel another one. I think that's it for that plant. Oh boy, there's just so many and just me. Ah! All right, well, on to the rest of the blue. Let's stay focused here. I have a hard time with that, as you can tell. I don't know, is that a thistle? Something prickly. Now, I know wherever the white ones are, we harvested some of them earlier on, and they were big too. So I am hoping to find some of them as well. I'm just gonna have to pray because I was not planning on doing this today. And so I'm getting a very late start. I'm just gonna have to pray that they stay safe in the ground. As you can see, I didn't do the best job keeping them weeded either. Here's some more blue ones. This one's a little bit bigger. That one's a little small one. Eva! Gotta find the dog. Wait a sec. Eva, what were you doing? Huh? I asked you to stay here. You need to stay out of trouble, okay? You want to help me dig potatoes? Okay, I want you to lie down. Good girl. Can you stay there, please? Stay out of trouble. All right. She has a ferocious appetite, and I'm trying to keep her away from the compost and everything else that she might get into. All right. Where are the white ones? Trying to think. Boy, I should just go back and watch the video, shouldn't I? All right, so these were red. What were these? just try one row at a time, I guess. White! Yay! Hit the jackpot, literally. Oh. Just keep doing that. Anyways, these are the white ones. I'm really excited because I want to, basically a lot of them will be seed for next year, so I can grow a lot more of them. Because they did really well, and I really liked them. Alright, there's another one. There's a nice one. And another one. Another one. So I have grown to realize that I do not like growing russet. The dirt tends to stick to them too much. So I'm going to stick to whites, blues, reds. One that I did like that we didn't grow this year, but Irish cobbler was kind of neat. It's like lumpy and bumpy, but it's a large potato and with kind of a neat history. Oh, look at the life in this soil. Look at that. Look at how many of them. All right. There's another one. Here we go. Just one plant so far, I think. Okay. On to the next one. Well, I'm going to just, I think I am going to harvest some and then get back to videoing when I have a few to show you. But I just kind of wanted to show you how the red we're doing, how the white we're doing, how the blue we're doing. And I gotta dig fast, so I gotta go. So not that you can see anymore, but I think we managed to do 4.5 rows. Thankfully, my boys and my husband came home from work and helped out. And we have about, I want to say about 100 pounds and probably 3.5 more rows left. But I'm praying, the Lord knows,
that we don't want to dig any more potatoes in the dark.
The Lord knows, and He's good. So I'm going to have faith that I'm going to be able to dig the rest of them up without any problems and try not to procrastinate anymore. So since, as you know, it got too dark to finish digging up the potatoes the other day, I left them in the ground and we've had some gorgeous days. This is actually the kind of weather I was hoping for before I had to dig up the potatoes. It's been some really nice sunny days and hopefully they won't be as muddy as the last ones. Because the other ones were muddy, I had to lay them out and let the mud dry off and then rub it loosely off. Hopefully we won't have to do the same thing with these ones. We will see. It is a wetter area of the garden. As you can see, we were able to do that area up to the top, and then I came back down and did half of this row because half of this row was blue and I wanted to get the blue and white ones out. And we really enjoyed some of the white ones, so I'm really looking forward to saving those and growing more of those. But now I have to move on to the other rows. I'm not sure how much yield we'll get out of this side of the garden over here because it was drier and the soil wasn't as decent. As you can tell down here, it's much darker. We still have some red potatoes in here, so I'm going to try to see if I can find them and pull these ones. So just wanted to point out that indeed it is much nicer digging them up today. The dirt is much more apt to fall off, and so we're not going to end up with so much of it on there, so they will dry and cure much nicer with a lot less effort from me. So I wanted to say that even though we had that -7 night, the Lord kept them from freezing. I didn't find one frozen potato. So that is awesome. I am very thankful. All right, we're going to put these in the root cellar and I'm going to show you how I laid out the rest. So as you can see, we took them and laid them out in a single layer in the root cellar on the shelf, and thankfully they are finally dry enough to rub and store in the bag. But now we have some more to lay out. So we did that inside the burlap bag as well, kind of tried to do a single layer, and it's working okay. Definitely worked a little better being outside. They're still pretty good. The ones up here, let's see. These are still a little wet. But still, I can rub the dirt off, so we should be good soon to be able to dry. That they should be dry and we can pack them back in their burlap bags. But you want to let them kind of be in a single layer and cure like we did down here. We did that in the house with the white ones, and then we packed them in their bag. So it's getting full in here. So our cabbages are in there nice. These are the potatoes that we dug up. I think we ended up maybe with about 125 pounds that we got out of the garden. The wet side did much better. These are the potatoes, that organic ones we bought. Carrots that we have to put in sawdust. And then this is where all our greens went. But that's another video for another time. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget, give it a like. Share it with someone else who might like it. And subscribe if you haven't already. Have a blessed day.